Welcome to this next part of the Pioneer Trail. This tab focuses on leadership, facing reality, knowledge building, and theory to practice. The critical realities faced by pioneers were faced by both men and women, and the realization that both men and women had to have the skills and the tools that they required to assist them in their journey. The technology leaders must invent the future while dealing with the past. Margaret Wheatley has written considerable works on leadership and how new leaders do not want to repeat the mistakes of the past. It's difficult to acknowledge. It's difficult to do new things in new ways, and it's important to acknowledge when you're a leader that people will hang on to the past with their life. So even though they know that those things are not working, it's difficult sometimes for people to make a shift. That is a critical reality, but it's a reality that we as educational leaders, especially in leaders in technology, must work with. Moving along to the Facing Realities tab, it's important that in our group of people who are working with us to implement technology, we must have people that have the various skills required, and we must have connections to those people if we're not working with them directly. Likewise, the early pioneers had to ensure that they had mechanics and oxen drivers and people who understood animals that could keep them healthy, people who could also assist with all of the pioneers themselves if they were to take sick. So just like those skills and abilities were necessary in the pioneer's journey, they're also necessary in terms of technology and the technological skills in the technology journey. The British Columbia Ministry of Education has created the 2013-2014 Transformational Plan, and in that plan it speaks highly to the necessity of staff to understand and implement technology. eTech 520 is a course dealing with learning and managing technology in higher education. Through this course and research into this course, or through this course, I've learned the importance of creating a vision for e-learning, and implemented a lot of the learning around the research from Bates and Sangra 2011, and talking a lot about the Lone Ranger approach. I found an article online by Whitworth and Benson 2007 about taming the Lone Ranger, and that was also very, very interesting. Whitworth and Benson contend that there is a need for creativity to bloom somewhere, and that the funding for the teaching-focused entrepreneurs should coexist with the institution's larger plans for e-learning. That means that we allow the seed grants, or the people who kind of go it alone, the Lone Rangers, to maintain that institutions maintain the ability to let that happen. Looking toward the future, I've reflected here on the research and how it fits into the necessity for having a strategic plan. We must have a plan to guide us in this very important work that we're doing in implementing technology. And that plan must also focus on the necessity of staff understanding the goals and the purpose of that plan. And research is outlined within this part of the portfolio to discuss that. eTech 530 deals with constructivist strategies, and I've chosen 5 artifacts to include here. Joe Asson's work on the model of online constructivist learning environment greatly assisted me in all the online learning modules and courses that I've created since being part of MET. So this is a piece of research that I have definitely included and implemented and have incorporated into my inner being as part of my work as a teacher. Here is a group lesson plan, again showing that collaborative effort. A lesson on discourse regarding Aboriginal education, utilizing the principles learned in the course. Also very, very, very important and very applicable course to my work. Set criteria was a component of this course, looking at various types of theories and how those theories apply to online learning. Link to constructivist online lesson in Aboriginal education, and there's a direct link here for that lesson so that you could see how I've put all of that learning together to create a product. I've learned a great deal about First Nations education programs through creating this, and I've also learned a great deal about constructivist learning and the constructivist instructional model and how the various components of that model fit and work together to engage and increase our students' learning. The various models mentioned above are outlined here, and through this general reflection I have commented on how it has increased their engagement and their learning. It was a fantastic exercise and a true learning experience, working with our district principal of Aboriginal education, Ms. Tate, to also guide me in Aboriginal understandings. Was very, very rewarding. I've done some reflecting on where to go next, and I would like to team up with a colleague and implement some of the learning from this course, as it was most practical theory to practice course that I've ever taken. We've taken problem-based learning, and we're looking at a day treatment program for children who have mental health issues, and the processes, procedures, and the learnings in this course will be forever useful. I've said here that this learning has become part of my DNA. Moving along to continue with eTech 500. This was the project that we put into place based on the literature review and the proposal that I created, and this page will walk you through some of those, and I think it's a story, it's a piece of leadership and a story worth telling that is the reason why I've included it here. And at the bottom of this page, the year one results are located. On the next page, we move into storytelling and related this to the importance of storytelling with the early pioneers. And eTech 530, which is applying the theory of constructivism to the workplace. And on this page, I've looked at a lot of the theory that we've learned in this course, and I've applied it to my workplace. And this is the power, to sum it all up, the power in all of this constructivism work is on reflection, and it's only through reflection, I believe, that we can build on that knowledge and keep it growing. eTech 532, Technology in the Arts and Humanities, Knowledge Transmission Group Project, and a second artifact listed here. In this course, three pieces that I wanted to bring forward that are key in our learning is, number one, understanding of how and when to use technology effectively. Number two, the knowledge of how to select appropriate software and web-based tools. And number three, the ability to incorporate technology-related activities to maximize the benefits for student learning and engagement. I moved on in this reflection to talk about choosing technology and the benefits of technology and how those determinations should be made. I've used comments by a number of my peers in this course, in the MET program, and I thought that some of their comments were most profound, so I wanted to include them here. Under next steps, it's clear that part of the foundational work that we as educators need to do is to strive to use technology in our classrooms to increase student learning and engagement. We must take on the various technological challenges that stand in the way. There are some very compelling statements made by my peers in this course that the infusion of technology into the arts and humanities classroom is instrumental to engaging all students in their learning. And excuse me. And the last part of this tab is Learning Management System Development, and in this part of the ePortfolio, I touched base on, I believe, 4 artifacts. The first one was an evaluation rubric of a delivery platform. The second was a learning management system proposal. Now those are written. The technology artifact number 3 is around the creation of a course in Moodle, and then I've taken that course from Moodle and I've reworked it to fit into Desire to Learn, and I've created a video for you for that Desire to Learn. Even though we didn't learn about Desire to Learn in the MET program, it shows how I have generalized my learning from Moodle and Vista to Desire to Learn. And the 4th artifact is using Prezi to create a digital story about inclusion. Reflections are about what I need to do next. I want to continue learning about Desire to Learn, even though I taught a full online course through Desire to Learn in the fall, and it was an awesome learning experience. Webinar is something that the local university is going to add, and it will become a component for a face-to-face online video conferencing, so I look forward to learning about that. I will be teaching this summer in a blended format using Desire to Learn, and I will be spending the next few months preparing myself for that. Thank you, and that concludes the storytelling component of this tour.